Today, we gather to explore a profound truth that the great sage Patanjali shares in his Yoga Sutras. He lays down a fundamental fact about our human experience, the intimate connection between our thoughts and our breath. Imagine for a moment how often we overlook our breath throughout the day. We breathe without thinking. Yet, the state of our mind is intricately woven into the way we breathe. When we are calm and peaceful, our breath flows gently. Conversely, when we are anxious or troubled, our breath becomes shallow and erratic. It reflects our inner landscape. Most of the movements we make in our bodies are voluntary. We can choose to lift our hands, to walk, to run. However, our breath and our thoughts present a unique case. They are partially under our control, but they can also drift if we allow them. Just as we can make an effort to control our thoughts, we can consciously control our breath. But if we don't pay attention, both will go their own way, often without our awareness. Let's take a moment to introspect. If we observe our breath in conjunction with our thoughts, we can notice a significant relationship. When our mind is calm, our breathing is stable and rhythmic. On the other hand, when our thoughts are turbulent, our breath mirrors that turbulence. It's as if our breath becomes the barometer of our mental state. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. If we consciously guide our breath back to consistency, we can see immediate effects on our thoughts. For example, when we find ourselves in stressful situations, a few minutes of calm, focused breathing, such as the Anulom-Vilom Pranayam, can transform our inner turmoil. I remember experiencing this during my early days in the Himalayas, when I faced doubts and fears. My master often reminded me, inhale the light, exhale the darkness. By focusing on my breath, I discovered a quick route to serenity. Patanjali boldly states that the root of our struggles, our sorrows, and emotional issues arises from the inconsistency of our breath. When our breath falters, so too does our emotional state. It's as if we are building a house on a shaky foundation. Without stability in our breath, everything begins to collapse. We must recognize that controlling our breath is perhaps the simplest and most reliable method to manage our thoughts. By ensuring we breathe correctly, we set ourselves up for a more peaceful journey. Yet, let us acknowledge the challenge. Our breath is partly involuntary, and despite our best intentions, it can slip away from our control. Understanding this principle is vital. Our focus should be on the breath. Every conscious effort we make to correct our breathing patterns brings us closer to the state of Chitta Varita Nirodha, a state where our thoughts are quiet, and our mind is still. As I reflect on the teachings of my master, I remember his words, "Your breath is your bridge to the divine." This wisdom resonates deeply with me, urging us to cultivate mindfulness around our breath as a means to access deeper awareness. In the sacred verses of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna teaches us the importance of maintaining equanimity in all situations. It is true that the mind is very difficult to control. However, with tactful effort, you can bring it under control. This too speaks to the importance of staying grounded through our breath. In closing, let us practice this awareness together. Let us take a moment now to focus on our breath. Inhale deeply, filling our lungs with life, then exhale slowly, releasing tension. As we do this, may we find our thoughts settling, our minds calming, and may we move closer to the stillness that lies within us all. Thank you for sharing this space with me.